Okay, let's get right into it. What is the one thing that separates a big dream from a real, tangible achievement? Is it talent? Luck? Nope. According to the timeless wisdom of Earl Nightingale, it all comes down to one thing: your unwavering ability to stay focused. So today, we're going to deconstruct that powerful principle.
Wow, I mean, that one really hits you, doesn't it? Someone with half your talent is building the exact future you've been dreaming about. Why? Because they refuse to look away. This just perfectly sets the stage for what we're talking about today. It's not about who's smartest or has the most resources, it's about a relentless, stubborn refusal to get distracted. That's the core idea we're going to unpack right now.
All right, so let's talk about the vision gap. You know what I mean, right? That feeling when you have this amazing idea, this heartfelt goal, and then a few weeks or months go by and it's just gone. Like it evaporated. Why does that happen? Well, it's because there's this huge gap between having an idea and actually doing something about it. And here's the tough truth. Most of us don't really have a vision. We have a wish. And that distinction is absolutely critical. Look, having a great idea doesn't make you special. Sorry, but it's true. Everybody has had a brilliant idea for a better life at some point, but the world doesn't reward wishes. It doesn't pay for daydreams. It only rewards committed, persistent action. It rewards the person who knows exactly what they want and then absolutely refuses to be pulled off course. So let's break this down because it's so important. A daydream? That's just, well, it's mental entertainment. It feels good to think about. But the second things get difficult, poof, it's gone. A real vision, though, that's different. That becomes the organizing principle for your entire life. It's the North Star you use to make every decision, and it's backed up by a daily, relentless commitment. Without that constant action, even the most brilliant vision is completely worthless. Okay, so if the vision gap is the problem, how do we fix it? How do we actually close that gap between idea and reality? Well, the answer comes down to one powerful word: constancy. Think of constancy as the bridge you're building, plank by plank, day by day. It's what connects the world inside your head to the real, tangible world out there. It's really the secret ingredient. You know, this quote just totally reframes how we think about passion. We're always told to follow your passion, right? But intense desire, that's just the starting gun. Endurance is what actually gets you across the finish line. Success isn't a sprint fueled by a burst of motivation. It's a marathon of daily discipline. And in the end, it belongs to the person who just plain refuses to quit. Here's a great way to think about it. Your vision, it's like a tiny seed, but inside that seed is the complete blueprint for a giant oak tree. Amazing, right? But that blueprint is useless without the right environment. So your daily discipline, that's the soil. Your constant attention, that's the sun and water. You can't just plant the seed and walk away. You have to show up every single day and nurture it. And over time, all those little, consistent actions start to compound, and before you know it, you have something massive and real. Okay, so constancy is the key. But if we're going to talk about constancy, we have to talk about its number one enemy, and that enemy is distraction. The truth is, we live in a world that is designed to attack our most valuable resource, constantly and relentlessly. So I want to ask you a direct question. What do you think your most valuable resource is? I mean, really think about it for a second. Is it money? Your network? Your time? It's none of those. It's your attention. Think about it. You can have all the time in the world, but if your attention is splintered into a million pieces, that time is totally worthless. One single hour of deep, focused work is more powerful than an entire day of being distracted. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, and that's where your life grows. Silent assassins of destiny. I mean, that's such a powerful way to put it, because distractions aren't just little annoyances. They're not harmless. They are the quiet, sneaky forces that take apart your dreams piece by piece. They don't knock on the door and announce themselves. They just slip in and steal your future, one notification, one scroll, 1 minute at a time. And here's what they look like in disguise. They almost never look like distractions. They look like work. They look like urgency, that email that feels like it has to be answered right now, but actually doesn't matter. They look like busy work, stuff that makes you feel productive but doesn't actually move you closer to your goal. Or how about gossip and drama? That's just focusing on other people's emergencies instead of your own. And a big one, perfectionism. That's just hiding behind endless preparation. And maybe the biggest one of all in our world today, endless scrolling, choosing easy consumption over meaningful creation. You have to be able to spot these assassins before you can fight them.
All right, so let's be real. Even if you have laser focus, you're still going to hit roadblocks. It's just part of the deal. Any path to something worthwhile is going to be littered with obstacles. The key mindset shift here is this. Your goal isn't to find a magic obstacle-free path. Your goal is to become the kind of person who can outlast the obstacles on any path.
So we need to completely redefine what an obstacle even is. It's not a stop sign. It's not the universe telling you, nope, wrong way, turn back. An obstacle is simply the price of admission to achieving something great. It's a test of your commitment. It's the gatekeeper that weeds out the people who are just kind of interested from the ones who are all in.
And what does that require? It requires you to just be stubborn. That's it. It's not about being smarter than the obstacle. It's not about being more talented or more lucky. It's about being more persistent. You just have to make the decision right now that you will outlast it, no matter what. I love this metaphor. Think about water carving a path through solid rock. Does the water win because it's stronger than the stone at any given moment? Of course not. It wins because it's relentless. It has no grand strategy. It just keeps showing up, day after day, drop after drop, and eventually even the hardest stone gives way. That's the model for us. Just keep showing up.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, this might be the most important one. You can have the clearest vision, the most intense focus, and the stubbornness of water on stone. But it all means nothing without this one thing: action. And I'm not talking about perfect action someday. I'm talking about messy, imperfect action today.
We need to have an honest talk about perfectionism. It puts on a good show, doesn't it? It wears a respectable suit, sounds responsible. Oh, I'm not procrastinating, I'm just waiting to get it right. But let's call it what it is. It's fear. It's the fear of messing up, the fear of looking stupid, the fear of not being good enough. It is, without a doubt, the most sophisticated and socially acceptable way to procrastinate on the planet.
So you really have two paths you can take. On one side, you have waiting for perfect. This path leads to getting stuck in your own head. Analysis paralysis. You get zero feedback from the real world, and you stagnate. On the other path, you have imperfect action. And this is where the magic happens. You immediately start learning. You get real-world feedback. And crucially, you build momentum. An object in motion stays in motion. Remember that a messy first draft is infinitely more valuable than a perfect blank page. So I'm going to leave you with one final question, and I want you to really think about this. Forget the 5-year plan for a second. Forget about getting it all perfect. What is one small, messy, maybe even clumsy first step you can take towards your vision today, right now? Because that one imperfect step you take today is worth more than a lifetime of perfect planning you do tomorrow. So what are you waiting for?